No, you need to stop using super. I don't slide. I think he's doing the dishes, people. I think he just finished stuffing his face. You getting some stuff adjusted?
Sound like I'm taking one. Yeah. So if you're not ready, you might want to get yourself ready and get yourself prepared. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know? Oh, everything locked and loaded and ready to go. Let me get the chat going. What's going on, chat? You know? And like we always do about this time.
After he finishes eating.
I thought well, maybe I got to do that. Yeah. We always do about this time. 10:15. This is kind of time. 7:15 on the West Coast. Welcome. I am your host, Numero Uno. Number one. What's your bar? Not just another sports show, also known as No Jazz Show. I am most definitely your host, KD, welcoming you to our planet, welcoming you to our solar system, and thanking you for joining us again. And for those of you who don't know, we are currently, if you did not know, live on Facebook at DUPONTZNIVEK, live in our group, the No Jazz Show, live on Twitch at GMP Media Group, live in the locker room. Yeah, we live there too. Links can be found on the RUSSELLTANKER Russell Tanker's page. We are also live on YouTube at No Jazz Show. That's NOJASSSHOW. Please email us at NoJazzShow, NOJASSHOW at Gmail. For all your inquiries, please join us in the chat because it is March 31st, leading up to, well, by the time we finish this, it's going to be April Fool's Day, but we're not going to have any notes by that time. Nevertheless, always, because he was kind of giving you all, he was emceeing while that overlay screen was on, our little screensaver was on, with our mug shot sitting up there. But for those of you who do not know that voice that you heard, that is the one and only Tank. Tank, tell these people what's up.
Greetings, peoples, earthlings, and aliens who are going to be supposedly tell us about
Yeah. All of those things that go on. All of those things that go on. Those people what I was doing with, man. Wait a minute, I got to do it this way. All right, still that way. Shameless plug for Gatorade. They got a new low sugar. I'm trying to take a lot of the sugar intake out of my life. I've been doing my little lemons. Had to put some cold spoons on my face.
How does the Gatorade taste? That one.
I don't know.
Light sugar. Oh, yeah, I had it yet. Okay.
I haven't had it yet. Hold on. Matter of fact, I'm going to do it during the show.
Okay.
I'll do it during the show. And I plan on, if it doesn't taste good, I will give it a live spit. If necessary, I will give it a live spit. And to conclude, as I was saying, live on Twitter, not live on Twitter, but you can find us on Twitter at NOJASSSHOW, and live on our TikTok page at No Jazz Show, and on Instagram at THE No Jazz Show. And please, thank you all for, and we would like you all to subscribe, comment, like, and share. All of the input that we're about to do on this Tuesday edition, March 31st. It's Tuesday, March 31st edition, of the No Jazz Show. And always, before I begin, I want to give a shout out to our sponsors. And we have a new sponsor.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop. Shout out to our new sponsor, Let me get him to clap for him a little bit. All right, that's enough. Yeah, that's that new sponsor music. No, actually, I messed up and hit the button, so I just let it ride. But our new sponsor is, and you'll see them when you get the edited show, it is the Plug Card, PLG. It is basically a FinCom card that allows you and a group that you're in, if I can get this correctly, for all of your Evite services, all of your invite services, all of your dinner services, where if you and a party of 2 or more don't want to go through all of that, hey, split the check, cash out me what you owe me. The event can be placed on the Plug Card, and you all can put these cards in the form of tokens, and these tokens can be used to pay for that dinner. And it all can be done in advance via the restaurant, whereas your dinner can be paid for via your token and your tip. And all estimates go back to your escrow account, which has been placed either on your Evite or your own personal token, Plug Card. So make sure you go to plugcard.com and find out all about the Plug Card for all of your events, your social events, individual events, and things you want to play for. And it is a growing little company, and they will have a lot of things going on as far as at the restaurants near you where that can be available, and also lodging and hotel, vacations, whatever you want to use your Plug Card for. Welcome to Plug Card. Yeah.
Hey,
nevertheless,
go ahead. And maybe that'll help cut down on all the posts that you see on social media about, man, the 6 of us went out to eat and we look around and one person didn't have no money, or they trying to divide everything up. I just want to pay for mine. So, hey,
that's how it works.
That'll come in handy for a lot of people.
That's how it works. Yeah, you just load up your money.
Yeah.
I think it's just like if I'm not mistaken, it works just like Cash App or anything else. You just load your money in from your own bank account after you set up an account. Load your money up in the form of tokens, and then the restaurant take care of the rest. And then it's just one host that has it on the host card, and they pay for it. So that's how that works. So shout out to the Plug Card. Go ahead.
I just ordered a salad and water. I ain't paying for your 13
that's right
that you had.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Oh, and just heard from above, when that happens, it automatically splits the bill to that salad and water. So there is no...
That's perfect, yeah.
There's no discrepancy going on there. So hopefully, y'all... Ooh, low sugar. Hopefully there's something... You can taste it, too. First of all, Gatorade ain't supposed to have a lot of sugar, but I'm not supposed to be able to taste low sugar. But at any rate, and to our normal sponsors, make sure for all of your food delivery needs, whether it be breakfast, lunch, and dinner, make sure you order from Light Snack. That's LYTESNACK.com for all of your food delivery needs. And when you order that food, make sure you order those Magic City Wings from Magic City Wings. And they got a new location in the city, so just make sure you all check that out. But I think it's all virtual anyway, so that doesn't matter. But they just told me they got a new location in the email, so that's cool. Also, when you order those Magic City Wings for that late night, we getting into the springtime. Always that QUIKVISITS.com for all that little lingerie wear you ladies like to wear, and you can find that on your Shopify, as well as in the TikTok shop. And to go along with that, if things get a little spicy, other than those wings, and you got to do what the Dream said do. Get her hair done after the aftermath. No pun intended to Dr. Dre, but that was 2 producers. You see, I threw 2 producers in there. Yeah. But anyway, make sure you get that Brazilian hair from Bliss Brazilian. That's BILISS Brazilian.com. It's also gonna be found in the TikTok shop and on your Shopify. So make sure you do all of that. Now, let's get to why we came here. because I might have to put a cap on sponsors. Because God dog.
So we're not gonna say, oh yeah, by the way, don't forget about Prize Picks.
Prize Picks called boy. Prize Picks and DraftKings. At the end of the day, somebody might have to lose a slot. Shout out to everybody that working with us now, but you know, I'm just saying, I do all of that. But for real, man, you know, where we going right now though is I'm just gonna start out right here. Because this is a sports show, and we going into the spring, and it's kind of the off season as we move into what will be the finals of the NCAA tournaments, both men and women. After that, we move to the NBA finals. After that, this year actually, we get some Summer Olympics, and then boom, like the overlap of the Summer Olympics will be preseason NFL football. But not looking too far ahead. But I'm just saying the sports might not stop, baby. The sports might not stop. So, in saying all that, I just want to ask this question. Why are podcasts and independent media becoming so popular amongst the sports viewers, even so to the point where analysts and broadcasters who are on major platforms have micro platforms that use podcasts as well to spark themselves. Now that and Tank and I are a part of that. We've been a part of that for 2 seasons now. Really a year and a half, and when you look at it rotation, but if you do season to season, it's 2 seasons. Why do you think that is so, Tank?
I think it gives you more of an opportunity to express how you feel about certain things, be uncensored, and also gives you more creative control over it. Because there's some things you can say on traditional. There's some things you can say on social media and on podcasts that you can't say on traditional media. There's also unlimited sponsorship. There's the ability to actually interact with people live because they can comment as you're broadcasting if you have those options available. And you also get more feedback from people, what they want to hear, how they think about what they think about what you just said, or what they think will be good topics, all that. So I think and it's more, for lack, I guess you could say it's more, I don't want to say user friendly, but it's more viewer friendly because you really feel as though you're actually part of the show. Because like I said,
right.
Yeah, people are able to interact. You can read what they say after the show airs, or you can do it while it's going on. And for the ones who are on mainstream media but do have podcasts as well, it's another stream of income for them as well. And it also lets you show more of your personality and delve into some other things that you can't necessarily do when you're on TV. And hey, this is a sports show. We don't want you talking about things that aren't sports related. We don't want you to go off on a rant regarding, about music or about old shows, TV shows that have been canceled, or your favorite memories growing up, or things of that nature. So I think it's the freedom that you have, also the visibility, and more people are able to see it because it's on, as we call it, the World Wide Web. Anybody can see it anywhere. So I think that's got a lot to do with it.
Yeah, I can see that too. Censorship. It's not regulated as much. I think you're censored once you're I think everyone has a level of censorship, even if they don't have the big platform network and corporate sponsors going over them, because censorship is still, to a degree, dictated by the viewer.
Yeah.
As you progress and you get larger, there is something about your, like for instance, I've always given Howard Stern, shock jock guy, the first actual era of the podcast.
Yeah.
I give that to him because he was the closest thing to saying whatever you like. Very, very close. And even he took some liabilities sometimes where he had to back off of things that he was saying. But I think the podcast situation and just going live on your phone, even if you don't have a podcast, allows you more autonomy. However, as your audience grows, there is an area, a gray area, where either something you said in the past can come back to haunt you. Something you did in the past can come back to haunt you. Shout out to Chili. You know, not that she had a podcast, but I'm just
yeah,
on that subject.
yeah.
And
come back.
You really, it's never well, I think this might be a new phrase. Sensitivity is in the heart of the beholder or the becrier. And all it takes is one to be loud about what they're sensitive about, and it's going to connect to everyone who feels that way and everyone who feels a way about you, and it might not even be about that subject.
Right. And like you said, the censorship is, like you said, is subject to the viewer, and if you go too far out there is a possibility of, I think there's lesser possibility of getting canceled doing podcasts than they are doing doing regular media. And I think that is also what's appealing, because we can say something now regarding something that, let's say we could say something that people could say was derogatory about women's sports that might not give us a whole lot of backlash that we take, we get a lot of backlash from it. But if we were on a major network and did it, we would have to come out, okay, we got to apologize. We have to say, hey, this is what we meant. We have to start. You don't have to backpedal as much when you're doing podcasts as opposed to regular media.
Absolutely.
And I mean, some people have made the jump from podcasts to regular media, such as on Pat McAfee, which I still don't understand how that happened, to be honest. But
he still had that window of the NFL too.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, but as far
I'm still waiting on the regular guy.
Yeah, which is, I think people want to see that. I think people would like to get, okay, wait a minute. Okay, you got people who played in this particular league, or people who've been journalists for the past 30 years. Then you get somebody who, wait a minute, now they're talking about what we talk about in the barbershop. They're talking about what we talk about when we're out hanging out, eating dinner, eating lunch, or we at the sports bar. They're talking about it, and they're also talking the way that we talk, and it's relatable. They have the Emmett versus Barry, and why you feel the way you do, and why certain players get more credit than they should and others get less credit than they should. They have those type of conversations, which is what I think the mainstream media is missing. I think it's an untapped market, like you said. I think it's an untapped market.
Oh yeah. Well, there are a lot of untapped subject matters that have to be they're organically grown on podcasts and social media groups. Shout out to No Jazz Show on Facebook. You know, where a post can be shared and shared so many times till it grows into commentary for a podcast, and that commentary can be so strong it grows into something on a major platform. It's happened.
Yeah,
it's most definitely happened. However, I believe the most popular one is Jordan or Kobe, Jordan or LeBron. I believe because the media didn't set that one up. That was set up on social media.
Yeah.
That started on social media when everybody got together and you saw, oh, Jordan has an age group in here too, and they're not old. Absolutely. And then the LeBrons came in, you know. But no, I'm not getting into that argument or debate. I'm just talking about where it organically began. And I think that's the most popular one that made it to a multinational platform. But many of them can and should, but they can't talk about them.
Right.
You know, there's certain places you stray away from where that is concerned. But I do give a shout out to everybody that's doing the podcast start out, because a lot of podcasters are here because of where they stand in the commentary in the groups. The bot system and all the human beings that just leave work and want to take their anger out from what happened at the job out on your post. It happens. Don't take it personally.
Right.
That's just who they are. And when they say your commentary is dumb or stupid, really it's just an opinion. Dumb or stupid, don't take it personal. It is for me, like I said, it's a matter of, I think someone at your job has you holding all that anger in, and instead of you commenting on the commentary for what it's for,
yeah, you letting it all, you just unload the
that steam out on them. You know, if
Mm-hmm.
you disagree with it, you choose the worst words.
Yeah. Some people come looking for discussion, other people come looking for war.
Some people come, yeah. Some people are, and a lot of people don't know this about the major platforms. We're dangling a carrot that you know is going to be controversial. We know you're coming. What we're seeking is the best conversation tools you have to create your argument. If someone says Emmett was better than Barry, you must don't know football, you dummy.
Yep, that's usually what it comes down to.
There is an argument for that, though, and all we're trying to do is, when you are liberating yourself to speak on it the way you speak on it, and you clarify it and you make it clear. Same with LeBron and Jordan. We're looking for the person that can actually set that mark and say, you know what? Now that I think about it, I don't agree with you, but I do see the validity in your point. And podcast hosts and hostesses speak on these things, and they study what you say. But what they can't do on their podcast is use your emoji, your laughing emoji, and use all those bickering words you use to use their platform to give you your props for creating that argument. So that's why I do like those platforms, because like you said, it does not allow, it allows what the broadcast companies don't allow, because they're going off straight up what they said in the back office, and that's all we can go on.
Yep.
You know, with the exception of the back and forth debates that only have a time frame. That the Skip and Shannon's and the Skip and Stephen A. Smith's created. Now, moving on to our next topic, the brackets. We going to the NCAA. You can talk about the female. You can talk about the male. Your bracket busted. Do you play the brackets?
I look at what people do, and I'll see who the most common teams are, and see. But I have research and looking at, and as far as what was publicly out there, everybody's bracket was busted quite a while ago because of the number of upsets.
Right,
and
which is good.
I see some people still upset about Duke losing because they thought, I think it is kind of amazing that Duke, after Coach K has left, they're still continuing to be extremely relevant in the tournament every year.
Yeah, they're a blue blood school. Because you saw once, prime example. I'll give UConn this props every other time, but you do see how Coach John Thompson left Georgetown, can't really make it back.
Arkansas didn't do anything.
Arkansas hadn't done anything. Dean Smith and Roy Williams leaving, UNC. I know a lot of that has to do with the differentiation of NIL, leaving school early, all those things that they didn't have to deal with is taken into consideration. Shout out to Hubert Davis. But there are some schools still maintaining.
They're always in it. Yeah, they're always in it. And I don't think Duke is one of those schools that's just paying out all this NIL money. I think they've got tradition, and it's like, hey, of course, they offer one of the top educational programs, but also I think it's the fact that people, hey, I want to play for Duke, and certain types of players, they're going to matriculate to Duke, regardless of where else they could have gone. I think there's I think if you were to, for the most part, if you were to take through decades, you could put up on the board all the same basic characteristics of all the Duke players, and it would still hold true to today. I don't think that they've deviated from the type of players that they go after, as opposed to other schools who would go after whatever's hot. I just think it's fascinating that you got all of this going on with them, in spite of losing a legendary coach and in spite of NIL coming in. I think it says a lot about the Duke program and really the Duke DNA.
And
they could have fallen off like everyone else.
The Duke DNA. Mm-hmm. Because I think they put forth a very they're very supportive when their alumni doesn't have kids, and then they probably tell these people in the waiting room when the kid is born, in the not the incubator, but little thing. There's a recruiter sitting right there. Hey man, little young boozer. I'm already ready for him. And I'm not saying any blue blood school or school doesn't do that, but it just seems like that's what Duke is trying to do. Shout out to the Duke Blue Devils. I'm a Carolina Tar Heel guy, but I'm not mad at the Dukies.
So is your team is one of your teams still?
Not at all. Miami, I mean, straight up, when North Carolina got out and Miami got out, I'm a 2 NCAA guy. Can't even lie. But when they got out, I was pretty much it was a wrap.
So nobody else that you picked to go anywhere made it?
No.
In the Final Four?
No. Nobody else. I don't even think I had a team made it to the Sweet 16, if I'm not mistaken.
Also like with the women, looking at South Carolina, how can I put it? Let me ask you this question right quick. With South Carolina, if they win it all this year, does Coach Staley, does she make it onto the Mount Rushmore of women's basketball coaches, female coaches?
All right, that's a loaded question, and I'm gonna tell you why. So, are we only using the female coaches?
Yeah, yeah. Well, twofold. First, just a female coaches. Secondly, basketball coaches, male or female. Would she have an? Do you think she'll ever be in a position?
And that's what I'm saying. Like
yeah.
when you put it like that, that means Gina Ariema is off.
Mm-hmm.
Not female coaches, meaning that you coached females. Just a female coach.
Yeah.
All right. Honestly, if she wins, yeah. And then I would consider her from a, wait a minute. The 2-layer question is basketball monument female totality.
Yeah.
Okay. Then
not the playing career, just her coaching career.
But what I'm saying, and what I'm saying is, coaching career definitely. If she wins,
okay.
Even if she doesn't win, being in the Final Four or going to the Final Two creates the argument because of those undefeated seasons. Mm-hmm. Totality, from a generational standpoint, her face is now kind of getting up there with Cheryl Miller, Lisa Leslie. Not as far as playing is concerned, but I'm just talking about an iconic figure in basketball that you've seen grow and expand since Louisiana Tech. Like we've watched this young girl's face. If South Carolina never came along, she was a face of women's basketball as it went from college to the WNBA. She was. Mm-hmm. She was a face of USA. I won't say she was one of the best, but I'm just talking about historic face of women's USA Olympic basketball. Like, she's been one of those faces. So now from a totality standpoint, if I look at her whole thing, it's not just coaching. Coaching is what's putting her over the top, yes. But it's not just coaching.
Okay, but just coaching, do you think she goes on a Mount
on a women's Mount Rushmore?
Yeah.
Totality of basketball.
Just from her coaching.
I gave a college. I'll give a college.
Yeah. Just strictly college. Just college.
I'll give a college.
I've seen one person say on the post that said that he would have to hold out. She just misses it at this point because she hadn't reached 1,000 wins yet. Because these are the other women coaches like Pat Summitt. We all know what she's done, and UConn coach has got 11 championships.
Well, you can't use him,
but not him. Yeah, but Pat Summitt. Because as far as saying that, if she reaches 1,000 wins, did that solidify her, or does this championship, if she wins it, does that solidify her?
Let me see something. I want to use this argument.
Yeah, and I'm just curious as to if they have, because she played at Virginia, if I'm not mistaken, right? I'm just curious as to if her alma mater has ever come calling, and if they haven't, why not, or will they ever come calling, and what will her and what she would do? Staley.
I thought she played at Louisiana.
She played at Virginia.
Oh, okay.
If I'm not, I would be curious as to if they come calling, would she leave, or if they've ever called her, because when your alma mater comes calling, it's a little different. I don't know if that would be considered her dream job or anything, or if
88 to 92 the golden years. See, she's in the golden years of a whole lot of stuff. 88 to 92 is the golden years of a lot of stuff. And Charlotte Stingers, two-time USC. I don't know. See, first of all, there's only 3, and Gino can't make it for as far as because he's not a woman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's more 1,000 win coaches, but there's really only Vanderveer, Pat Summitt, and Gino. And you take Gino off, it's 2. So it's 4 slots on Mount Rushmore, and you're going to create that Mount Rushmore with her 1,000 wins or not, because there's nobody else.
Nobody else, yeah.
Creating, like, you're going to have to go in the black and white era.
Yeah. Yeah. I think what she's done has been remarkable, though, because and I think that's why a lot of people have. I had a friend he was a South Carolina fan, and I think it got a lot to do with her and what she's done there, because he was from Texas, so there's really no reason for him to have been a South Carolina fan. But yeah, I think she's definitely gonna be put on that mountain.
Well, hold on. Okay, so 26 seasons coaching.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, that's career wins. 500 wins as a coach, right?
Yeah.
2008 to present. 17 years. Now we probably have to look at her volume. Like,
because she wins a lot.
Wins a lot. Like, is she winning them faster than Gino? Is she winning them faster than Pat did? There's an era where she's going to have a Pat fall off and a Gino fall off.
Mm-hmm.
It happens. So who's to say? But before we get to that fall off, I just want to make sure you all are watching the No Jazz Show. Please make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share. And you can find us live on Twitch at GMP Media. We are live in the locker room. We are live on my page, DUPONTZNIVEK. We are live on Russell Tanker's page, RUSSELLTANKER. We are live. The link can be found on our Facebook page at NOJASSSHOW, No Jazz Show. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, and also to our friends on TikTok. We are live, and on YouTube, we are live at NOJASSSHOW, No Jazz Show. So again, back to Dawn Staley. I mean, I think you start. Let's go back to our first thing. I think you start on the podcast and start in the commentary and start putting her name in there, because you need a new era name that someone can gravitate to. They're not gravitating to Gino.
Mm-hmm.
They're not gravitating to the late Pat Summitt. Is she still here with us?
No.
Yeah, I think she did. All right. Yeah. Yeah. So to connect the dots.
Yeah, and her consistency is what is not just consistency, but the fact that she's winning at a fast clip. Also,
she's winning at a fast clip.
She's not finishing 2 games over 500. She's winning, and I mean they can punch their ticket to the tournament every year, and they're gonna probably be. They're gonna be
the other aspect. When you put your players in the NBA, and then they become the dominant ones and the dominant forces in the NBA,
Yeah,
That's she doing it at a fast clip. I mean, that's part of the resume.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just because, in the words of Gilbert Arenas, just because it took you this long to do it in that amount of time, and I did it in this amount of time, you know,
He still did it.
I still did it. You know, my 672 career wins or 500 whatever plus wins might have been more effective than your. You know, we are in the era where, and I don't want to switch too much, but we are in the era where Michael Jordan's 6 rings is more effective than Bill Russell's 13. Is that not how we?
Yeah, they do tend to overlook what Bill Russell did, and they have different reasons and excuses for why they do so. And for some people, it's justified. Other people, it's like, hey, you can't hold that against them. So, yeah. So, but it does. But errors do play a part.
Most definitely. I mean, Dr. J is 5 or 3. No, 3.
Down 3.
Is overlooked. But when the ABA and the NBA merged, the ABA talent, when they went to the NBA, took over. So it made you say, hold on. Y'all are denying these ABA championships, but from the looks of things, we had a harder run.
Mm-hmm. And your talent crossed over into here and made it.
And we dominated
people's problems. Yeah. It's like the same thing with guys that played in the USFL. Some of them who went to the USFL came into the NFL and became Hall of Famers and all pros. And so, you can't. So it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to knock the talent that comes out of other leagues or rival leagues sometimes.
Namely, Steve Young,
Reggie, Sam Mills, Anthony Carter. Yeah. And
I remember Gary Anderson or Gary Carter, whatever.
Gary Clark.
Clark was Bad boy.
Bill, Jim Kelly.
Oh man.
So startup leagues do sometimes, they do have talent in them.
They have some talent. I don't think you have that problem too much today.
No.
But I mean, even the AFL had that argument with the NFL, but that's a whole nother subject. Matter of fact, we're gonna start a new segment called "Put a Pin on That." We're gonna put a pin on it because that's definitely some commentary that can come up later. But back to where we were with the WNBA. So I guess I'm just gonna go ahead and ask, since we were on the subject. Question came up: would you, as a man, and I really need this, I want to show the clip. Let me set it up.
Okay.
There was a clip where the context of this is based on support to me. Mm-hmm. There's a clip out there where a young man is on the street. He asks a group of young women, how would you feel about a man wearing a WNBA jersey? And I don't know if there were any positive feedback to that we saw, or that we didn't see. But what he gave us was only the naysayers to if they see a man with a WNBA jersey. Then he asked the men, and the men had totally different reception of it. Yes, I would wear a WNBA jersey. I don't feel any type of I don't feel effeminate. I don't feel like it's something that a man shouldn't be doing. I would definitely support my favorite player Even one guy said, and this is where I stand with it, I would probably be a fusion of two, just to answer the question. If the color wave is right, I'm rocking it. And I'm gonna tell you how I know I'm rocking it. I'm gonna tell you how I know I'm rocking it. Back in 1990 something, maybe 91, 92.
That's before social media.
I know, right? As if that's important. Air Max 180 was a very popular shoe. And man, they had a color wave in Foot Locker.
Mhm.
It was that electric blue and white. Like the color wave for men was red, white, and blue. But the color wave that I saw was electric blue and white beside the red, white, and blue one. Everybody had the red, white, and blue ones. If you get them, you get them. Everybody, oh, you rocking them 180s. Cool. But I said, and this is when I found out what I wore like 11 and a half in women's. I said, I gotta have those. I had to have them. That color wave was just too hard not to have. I probably couldn't do that today because of what they do. But then again, I have no fear of what's going on.
Mhm.
But the unisex color wave craze is just so whatever. It's not necessarily a male or female shoe. But nevertheless, that's my example. So all I'm saying is, if the color wave hard enough, absolutely.
Yeah, because I saw that clip, and then the post I did the post in across a couple of pages on Facebook, and I think there was, let's say, out of 50 people answering, there was one woman that said no, that no man should be wearing a jersey after the age of 29, period. Everyone else, and there were maybe 4 guys that said they wouldn't do it. And the reasons they gave was, I don't like the WNBA, or I don't like basketball.
Okay.
Everyone, and another guy said he wouldn't wear the jersey, but he would wear the T-shirt because he's not a jersey guy, but he would wear the T-shirt of the team. And everybody else, all the other guys who replied, said, yes, I would, or why wouldn't I? It's showing support of the team. And one guy said, hey, A'ja Wilson is my favorite athlete, period, and I will wear her jersey. And some people saying if it was their team, they would wear it, or if they were a particular fan of that player, they would wear it. Me, I'm not a basketball fan, so I wouldn't be wearing a jersey, because unless, for me, it would simply be the color scheme. It would be the color, like if it's a black and gold or something like that, and it's a good looking jersey. Yeah, I'm not gonna be like, oh, because. And one woman said, what's the problem? Because women wear football jerseys all the time. Because it's not, and the thing is, like you said earlier, it's about support. If you're trying to support that team or that player, you do it. It's not about, oh, that's a girl's clothes. No, it's not. It's an athlete's jersey. You're not wearing the sweater dress. You're not wearing the jersey dress. You're wearing the jersey. So I wouldn't have an issue with doing it, and I don't think it's an issue if a man puts one on, because it's athletic. It's the jersey of the team, and it's the jersey, and that particular player that you like, you're supporting them. So I don't see what the big deal is. I really don't.
Shout out to a podcast, and what we said earlier to open up the show. Podcast gives us the autonomy to say how we feel from a perspective that could be a little bit more candid than you would get on a major platform. And I'm going to tell you at this point right now, this is why your league struggles, ladies, because of ladies who think the way those women think. You lose when you have that type of mentality. Let me tell you why. Imagine if the NFL and NBA would have said, "Nah, it don't look right." One, you have no choice anyway, because if you ever had anything close to a girlfriend, she just likes to put on your stuff. So we're gonna just say that, right? I don't think I'm gonna go in my girlfriend's closet and get her WNBA jersey. I'll get my own. I'm not gonna do that because that's just not what men do anyway. So don't even try me with that joke. And that also affects your economy when you all effeminate men the way you do about things that are in support of you. So let's keep that in mind. Let's keep that in mind. Let me tell you what you do across the board when you do and say things like this. Imagine if the NFL, and I put Major League Baseball in there too. Imagine if the NFL, NBA, and Major League Baseball, because soccer's cuts are both ways. But imagine if they said, "Nah, you ladies can't be wearing men's jerseys." Imagine if they looked at you when you came in the game those first few years with the men's, and you wore, oh, that's your man's jersey because it's oversized. And then imagine if male sports said, "Wait a minute. Oh, whoa. You mean to tell me she took the jersey, cut it up into a female jersey? Great idea." Then you started seeing the transition of the female cuts versus the male cuts, and you saw them in different sales. NFL still sells both jerseys for the same amount of money.
Right.
Imagine if they cut themselves. Imagine if they, how do they say, cut off their nose to spite their face.
Spite their face. Yep.
By saying, "Don't cut our jersey, you messing up." No, they took it, embraced it, and went on. And then now you see that as women, and you say stupid stuff like, "Oh, we invented that. Look at how y'all just be taking up." No, we're open the door for that to allow you to come in. So when you say stuff like that, look at what you're doing. You're telling the WNBA, "Wait a minute. Okay, that dude wearing my jersey, he's supporting me. You know what we need to do? Let's make a male cut." And you know what they're gonna do with the male cut? They're gonna charge you $10 more.
Mm-hmm.
Look at how you close. Look at how you close your own doors with your mouth.
You know, just accept the support that you get, and because of male support, also the WNBA was able to reach a new CBA.
Exactly.
And those players are making more money now than they did before. And now they're making the minimum. What they take home would be what they made previously before taxes. But now what they take home is what they will make, is what the max is of what they were making before taxes previously. So instead of being taxed on 600,000 and only taking home 300, now they're being taxed on $1 million and they can take home 600.
Take home 600. Yeah. You know, and you get the support because guess what dudes do? They wear their jerseys on game day. So if I'm wearing my WNBA jersey, I'm probably going to the bar or the game. You know, look at what you do across the board. I'm almost certain that there are men who like Storm, and they like Captain Marvel. They like those ladies.
Mm-hmm.
But you give men, and I'm talking about heterosexual men.
Yeah.
You give men such flack because they might respect their powers. You know what? I would wear a Storm t-shirt, but I'm not, because this girl gonna say, ask me why I got on a Storm t-shirt, even though she can wear a Black Panther t-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes Marvel say, oh, you all aren't that popular. Yeah, we'll add a little love story in there, but we just don't feel like that woman can lead.
Can lead a movie.
Sometimes y'all need to shut up. Because this is exactly, and I guarantee you that there is an area of economics that men would load into if they didn't feel what you would do, whereas male economics adjusts itself to you stealing our clothes. You don't think Nike said, hold on, I keep seeing these women walk outside with their men's sports slides on. They're too big.
Let's start making something for them. Yep.
No, we don't. And stop with all the nonsense. No, we don't want to wear high heel shoes, so you make a men's high heel shoe. No, what we're saying is that little gray area of support, sports, movies, that's how you shoot yourself in the foot.
Yep.
I love Lady J. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna keep it 1,000. I love Lady J on G.I. Joe. What my girl on Thundercats?
Oh yeah. I can't remember her name, but yeah, I know you.
Secret, whatever. I don't know, something. Yeah. You ain't supposed to be.
And it's like it's the character. It's not anything on you. It's that character. I like that character. So what's the big deal?
I would they. Now I'm gonna tell you one. I'm gonna tell you one that kind of crossed the borders. My girl, Aeon Flux. You remember Aeon Flux? Okay. Yeah, she might have. I don't think nobody cared about wearing Aeon Flux jersey or a t-shirt. She was that deal though. Aeon Flux. She was late night. She was late night cartoon. Latest superhero, boy. Woo!
I'm gonna have to Google that. I don't.
Yeah, Aeon Flux. Aeon Flux. Deserve a movie. Anyway,
that don't sound like that. Doesn't sound like no Marvel characters.
No. This is like I think when Fox or somebody was coming out.
Okay.
She was very provocative with her situation too. She was just different. Aeon Flux, yes sir. Aeon Flux. Shout out to anybody that know about Aeon Flux and hadn't heard the word Aeon Flux in years. Now, speaking of which, I just want to throw this out there. Flag football, because we talked about the Olympics. The U.S. flag football team made a statement by beating the NFL players.
I think somewhat, but it's a completely different game. I think they showed that they were better, at least at this point in time, in playing that particular game. And I think that's what the flag players were saying all along. I'm better, particularly quarterback. I'm better at playing this game because I know the ins and outs of this game than Patrick Mahomes is. I'm not saying he wasn't saying I can beat Patrick Mahomes in 11-on-11 in standard pass. I can beat Patrick Mahomes. I can do a better job playing 5-man flag on a 20-yard long, a 20-yard wide field, and a 50-yard long in a field that's 50 yards long. And I think a lot of NFL players, they found out, hey, this is different because it is. There's certain technicalities, certain things you have to do in flag that you aren't going to do in regular football. Particularly once someone has a flag and they're off and running, when you drop your hips, so as they're reaching out to grab it, your waistline goes down, and so does your flag, so you wind up missing it. And it's not always about outrunning the person. It's about putting your flags out of reach because of what you do with your hips. There's also a lot more cutting involved as opposed to regular football. I'm not going to cut right now. I'm just going to run you over. You can't do that in flag. You can't. There's no blocking at all in flag other than stationary with your hands behind your back.
So I'm not breaking you down. I'm not breaking you down throughout the game. You know, physically, you might keep that same stature and stamina.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. So I think that they showed that, hey, at this point right now, we're the best option for the U.S. to field a team to play in the Olympics. Because I don't think, because there was Darrell Green, yes, that Darrell Green at age 70 wants to play in the Olympics. And the people here, he's a fast twitch athlete. He was 45, still running a 4.5. Darrell Green's 70 years old. He still runs and trains every day. But if he were to actually make the team, I think it would be more of an indictment on everybody else as opposed to just saying how incredible he is. But I don't think he needs to be out there. And I don't think that anybody in the NFL needs to be out there. Not just because they be better, not just because the flag players are better at that game. But I'm telling you now, I was watching the game, and the active players I was watching, I was saying, man, all it takes is one quick move and a knee pops, and that owner is gonna cuss the high heaven. That GM is gonna, that coach, everybody is gonna. I mean, you think about Joe Burrow's out there. We already know, Joe, you can't stay healthy anyway. He's out there running and trying to dive. Imagine Joe Burrow out there and he dives playing flag football. This is not even in the Olympics. This is on an exhibition type thing. And he tears his knee up, or he tears up his throwing shoulder because he comes down wrong. How are you gonna spend that?
Here's my thing. I like a lot of stuff you're saying, because let me tell you what I'm hearing. We're talking about athletes, right? Yeah. At the end of the day, athletes who want to compete gonna compete.
Right.
Probably one of the I'm gonna tell you one of the safest stamina sports for all athletes that a lot of athletes don't play. Shout out to everybody in Tampa who know what I'm about to say. Highlight, racquetball, but definitely highlight. Speed, hand-eye coordination, hip. You about to get it all if you know how to play the game of highlight. But everybody don't play with highlight. But my point is, off season, I just want to play something to keep me active. Is usually basketball, even for football players. And there's always an opportunity to injure yourself playing a pickup game of basketball. That's what I'm talking about. Pickup, rec gym basketball.
Yeah.
When the football players go and play against the basketball, the NBA players who also do it too, there's an opportunity that they can get injured, but they see the separation in play. I think flag football, what I saw, it opened up a lot of information about how, just like basketball is, 1-on-1 is not team basketball. Mm-hmm. It's not 5-on-5. 3-on-3 is not 5-on-5. Right. It's a totally different game. It might be an easier transition for an NBA player to go play 3-on-3. And a 3-on-3 player who plays it regularly might say, we are the best at what we do. I think that can happen too, but I think it's easier for a 5-on-5 team guy to go to 3-on-3. And I'm not saying it's not easy for an NFL guy or former NFL guy to go play flag football. However, I think it's closer NFL guy going to play flag football, NBA guy going to play one-on-one, different monster. I think that's the monster. I think they really saw that it's a different monster. You know, just like that whole argument that you think you can leave a football field and go race a world-class sprinter. Just because you run fast. Some things just have a different monster. It's just some things are just too different. Now, where I do like what I do like about what in the age of all of this money, high health care, I do like the idea of Darryl Green wanting to play for the Olympic flag football team, right? I do agree with you that he shouldn't play for the Olympic flag football team. But I do think they need to have like a senior level, 55 plus, which could really spark globally, especially in the US, a trend of, oh, let me stay in shape.
Okay, they have it. They have it. They have flag leagues all around in different age groups, or you have.
Well, I'm talking about have the different ages. Olympics.
Oh, okay. The Olympics. Yeah, that would. I think that would probably be done separate. Like, okay, this is the senior.
You know Olympics. How they have when you don't have the medal.
Yeah, this would be like the senior Olympics, not just the regular Olympics. Yeah, okay, yeah,
right.
Or
make it a goodwill game, and you don't necessarily have to be. But give them something to look forward to, or fall back on, because I think that sparks a wave of people just attempting to stay in shape.
Yeah,
on their own.
Because I think, like, for me, last time I was in pads, I was 27. After that, I played flag, and it was fun. But we played flag with there was a guy named Dewey McClain who was commissioner. He used to play with the Falcons. He was commissioner. Our flag was a little different. We played contact flag, meaning you could block, and a lot of times when you're grabbing the flag, in the midst of grabbing the flag, there would be a tackle made as well. So it was one of those. Yeah, but playing in different leagues, you're playing flag, you're playing by the rules and everything, no contact, and it's a good way to stay in shape. It's a good way to still not just stay in shape, but for you to still play the game, because football is the one sport that for most people, after they finish high school, they never play again. People play basketball forever, even if they just go out and just shoot. People play golf forever. People will play tennis, or they get older, they aren't doing tennis. Now they start doing pickleball. But football is that one sport that after you hit a certain age, or after you hit
step back into that. Like, you play around, you can catch a pass from a kid, or you go out there as an analyst, but you don't step back into.
But you don't play anymore, right? And it's so I
think baseball one too.
Yeah, baseball does. Or in the worst case scenario, you can go from baseball to playing softball.
You might play some exhibition softball. Worst case scenario. But I'm talking about like you stop hitting the 95-mile-an-hour fastball on the regular. 1 year out.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna connect. You know what? Barry Bonds said he can connect. I'm not trying to jump in the set, but Barry Bonds said he can still connect. He might not knock it over the fence, but I can connect. Tony Gwynn was saying he can connect. So you might not lose it, but to a degree, they don't step back on there.
Yeah, you don't say, man, I've been out 5. I think I'm gonna go play again.
Yeah, you don't do that.
You go do something else. But we have a corporate challenge, which is you have different companies and businesses and all that. They have it. It's like an Olympics. They have all these different sports, all these different events, and you compete against teams from other companies. We have that going on here now, and I never participated. I didn't know that it was against all these other companies. I thought it was the government, just our government agency doing it. So long story short, they had been asking me past couple of years if I was going to go out and join, play on the flag team. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Plus, I'd had shoulder surgery and all of that, so I wasn't in a position. And so this year I decided, because I hadn't played flag in like 7 years, I said, well, let me go out here. Man, I went out there, muscle memory starts kicking in. But after a certain amount of time, at a certain age, your muscle memory kicks in, but reality kicks in also.
Reality.
Like, I'm not moving as fast as I think that I'm moving. The ball is coming faster than it's supposed to, or my hands are going up slower than they used to. There's certain things that I was out doing, and because I think we play next week, and it's a single elimination. So you start playing at 6, and if you keep winning, it'll go on to 10. And I'm like, man. So I'm like, okay, my goal, and this is what we're talking about with Darrell Green. He trains, of course, but I'm like, okay, my thing is, I don't want to hurt anything. I don't want to pull anything. I don't want to tear anything. After a certain age, your safety is what you're concerned with as opposed to your productivity. But I think that also needs to be looked at for these NFL players. They don't need to be out there because there's a lot of money that they could mess around and lose or miss out on. And I'm sure there's a waiver, there's something in there, but do you really want to see Patrick Mahomes out there trying to win an Olympic medal and he decides he's going to dive into the end zone and his foot gets caught or something and all of a sudden his knee gets torn up? Do you want Lamar?
Want and need. Yeah, you want to.
Yeah.
Need? No.
No. Yeah, you don't need it. No.
Want need? Yeah. I'm. You want to see Patrick and Lamar? You do, because you want to see flag football. Lamar do a pitch out, and then Lamar get an opportunity to play that wide receiver.
Yeah, but when I look at the fact that, okay, that knee or something that happened,
you don't need to see it.
Yeah, we don't need to see it. So, like, yeah, man, just cheer the team on. We don't need that.
We don't need that.
We're not gonna allow that. Yeah,
we don't need that. We don't need that.
But to answer your question, I think USA, the US.
You see how OBJ can get out there.
Yeah.
And still play, but that knee don't connect with the NFL like that. See,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So no. Want? Yeah. Need?
No,
absolutely not. Now, moving forward on to guys who are getting their exhibition game and their practice on. We got I think voluntary camps coming up, and George Pickens has not signed his franchise tag. And now I don't know why they're saying things like that means he won't be participating in those off-season programs. He can't. Like it's rules, you know.
Yeah.
If you don't sign the franchise tag, he can't come in the building.
Yeah, like, you ain't on the team.
What it is, like you ain't on the team. So I don't know why we're using this as a talking point, but it's probably because you know that there is a large percentage of people who don't know. George, you can't just go to Frisco. I mean, you probably are cool with some people in there. You go over there and they'll let you watch TV and a snack, but let something happen in there you're not supposed to be in there.
Right.
There's a possibility you go in there and it's, even though you haven't signed a franchise tag, there might be a gray area tampering in there. You're not supposed to be in there without your agent. So There are things that you just aren't supposed to be doing. That's why I don't understand why you're talking about it. But my question is, do you think he gonna end up staying in the headlines till preseason?
I think this is standard operating procedure for Jerry Jones, and I think that probably a week, possibly 2 weeks before the regular season starts, Pickens will get a long-term deal, or because I don't think it's going to be a Le'Veon Bell type situation where him not signing that tender goes into the regular season, because George wants to get paid, and if it winds up being, hey, just this 1 year deal, unfortunately, okay, I'll sign it, but he's not. He's going to hold out until he has no other options but to go ahead and sign so he can get this year over with and then go somewhere else the following year. And I think Jerry would like to extend it because he wants to keep this gives the Cowboys press like they do every year. This present win. What are they gonna do with George Pickens? Man, him and CD make a great combo. You saw what Dak looked like when he was throwing to him. Man, Pickens had 1,400 yards. They got to do it. Well, and Jerry telling, hey, we're working on it. We do want him here. We're gonna have some things done. When it gets done, it gets done. And the same thing you heard with Dak, the same thing you heard with CD, the same thing you heard with Zeke. So I don't think it's a big deal from the standpoint of, man, this is gonna mess up the team. I think it's a big deal from the fact that, hey, it's gonna keep the Cowboys relevant. Yeah. But I do think eventually he's gonna sign that franchise. I don't even think it's gonna be a franchise. I think they're gonna work out some kind of deal where it's a long-term deal.
Let me put on my GM hat right quick. I ain't gonna put on my owner hat, I'm gonna put on my GM hat. I give Jerry the benefit of the doubt with this whole history of signing late, because when the Quentin Williams deal finally got done and he said we were going to do it before the season, and it was something that we were trying to do with Micah to keep Micah, it dawned on me, and it dawned on me that this was a reality, that Jerry, and I'm not saying that he's the only team that gets it, but I believe the Cowboys are probably getting fleeced and trying to get hoes because, we're going to make you pay more because you're the Cowboys. And Jerry doesn't want to take a lot of these deals they're putting on the table, so it looks like he's wasting time not getting it done. Whereas another team doesn't get hoes like that. It's almost like they treat Jerry like the woman going to the mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, you got leaves under your hood. I'm gonna charge you for de-leafing because I know you got that credit card and you're naive and you don't know. It's like they try Jerry like that, so he doesn't allow himself to be tried. So I do believe that goes on with why it takes so long. So I just want to put that out there, in that regard. But there's another thing, and I want you to chime in on this. There's another guy that's actually making more news than George Pickens, and I don't believe he's actually going to Dallas, but I do believe his name is continuing to be attached to Dallas because he wants to go home, and that's Myles Garrett. So I want to ask you this: do you think Myles Garrett is going to be able to get out of Cleveland? And here's why. I think the NFL is finally sick of seeing its good guys finish last. Have you noticed? Barry was a good guy. Barry Sanders was a good guy. If Barry would have been arguing, and this ain't to say the bad guys don't have a valid point, but if Barry would have been a bad guy and arguing, I want to win, I need to win, I need to win, I think the NFL would have honored him and his bravado and put him on a team that got him out of there to keep him in the NFL. Calvin Johnson, nice guy. Larry Fitzgerald played in the Super Bowl, nice guy.
I don't think that Garrett is gonna. I don't think he will be out of Cleveland. Maybe at the earliest after this season, but other than that, 2 years. I think Cleveland feels that they're on the right track. They ain't, but Cleveland feels that they're on the right track.
On the championship track.
I said they're not, but Cleveland thinks that. Yeah, Cleveland thinks they are. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I don't think they're
across at 300 that think they're Bentley.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're really at 200, but I think they feel as though that they're on the right track, and they also know that Garrett, he's the crown jewel, regardless of, you got a guy who has a name, who hasn't really done anything, and he does play the high profile position, but Garrett is their crown jewel, and Garrett just coming off of a record-setting year. They're not letting him go. They just restructured his contract, and they haven't even come out and said why, because that's their business. They say that's our business for why we got together and restructured this, and obviously it's to clear up salary cap money so that they can do some other things. But no, I don't think Garrett will be gone for at least 2 years. It's possible at the earliest it will be after this season. And after this season, depending on how the team does, he might press the gas and say, all right, let me out of here. I said I wanted to win, but we had done it in these past 2 years, and I'm not getting it.
It's easier to press the gas at 30 than it is 32.
Yeah. So after next year, I can see them moving on from him. And then that's if the market.
Market-wise, and what I'm saying is everybody ends up in a market that does not allow their star to shine as bright as it normally would have. This is going to be another thing that we put in a pin topic. Top 5 guys who were in a market where if they were in another market, like taking nothing away. But I asked myself, if Lawrence Taylor was in Arizona doing the same thing, or New Orleans doing the same thing, or Tampa Bay doing the same thing, and you switch him with Andre Tippett in New York or Hugh Green in New York, who keep the same numbers, whose star gonna shine brighter? And I think the NFL is noticing what they're doing to these players, because the record, the 2 DPOYs that Myles Garrett has, if he would have done that in a Cowboys jersey in New York, Pittsburgh, he is considered the greatest defender of all time. He doesn't get that yet.
Yeah, I don't think that. Yeah, after next year, if the team doesn't do anything or show some real growth, like, hey, they're 1 year away from making a run, I think he's going to be gone. And I think the NFL, behind the scenes, if there was talk about it, I think the behind the scenes, the NFL would say, hey, Cleveland, you're really wasting them. Hey, we can get him somewhere else. He might not win the championship, but hey, he will look good in Kansas City. He would look good on the defensive line that the Frisco's had for years. He would look good in a big market city that's actually winning, or that has a tradition.
Exactly. I think he's gonna end up leaving at twilight in his career, but he's gonna need a young guy beside him to help him win that. Like it's almost like, well, Randy did have a peak moment in New England. But I think Myles Garrett is looking like the Randy Moss in San Francisco.
Yeah.
If he's not careful.
Mm-hmm. Because you don't want him to be, and this isn't a shot because he's a heck of a player. You don't want him to be J.J. Watt.
You don't want him to be J.J. Watt. He didn't deserve that. Even though J.J. Watt still has a better argument in Houston than Myles has in Cleveland. The only argument Cleveland has is well-known franchise, etc. But I think Baltimore stole that.
Yeah. It's Cleveland. It's the armpit of the NFL. It's Cleveland. There's a reason Garrett probably has more press this year because of what he did than he had in his previous 9 years, because he's been in Cleveland.
A lot of people didn't know this was his second DPOY.
Yeah, because he's been in Cleveland.
I got a question for you. I want you to give me who, and this is a question of value of player. I don't know how you gauge it, but this is where I'm going to present it to you, and you gauge it for me. Value of player, and I'm gonna give you names, different positions. I just want you to answer the question. Myles Garrett, since we're talking about him. Dak Prescott. Let me see where I want to go. Ja'Marr Chase.
Value to the team or value to the league?
Hold on. Let me. Ja'Marr Chase. Derrick Henry. Now, Derrick Henry. No. Saquon Barkley. So that's Myles, Dak, Saquon, Ja'Marr Chase. Of those four, week to week, which one do you think their opponent is taking up more time to figuring out how to neutralize them in the game plan? Which one do you think the opponent is looking at saying, we need to spend more time trying to make sure we deal with this? Who's 4, 3, 2, 1 on that list? One being the highest. Who do you think?
I think Ja'Marr is number one because he gets the ball, and also because of who he has at quarterback when he's healthy, and he scores points.
Okay.
So I think Ja'Marr first. I think Saquon. I think next is Garrett, because he can wreck offense. You got to highlight him on every play. You got to circle him, because if you don't, your team, you're gonna probably still win the game, but your offense, it's gonna be beat up. And because he has no help on offense, it really doesn't matter as far as who wins the game. I think Dak and Saquon are probably a tie.
Okay. So I gave you,
but I think Ja'Marr is like this compared to everybody else because of what he does and the position he plays and who he has getting him the ball. Now, if he had Kenny Pickett giving him the ball,
if I would have taken Jamar out and put Justin Jefferson in, looking at who gets him the ball. Who's number one?
Jefferson goes down to 3 or 4 because in spite of his ability, he's got a bounce passer getting him the ball. So, and you saw what JJ did this past year. So, yeah,
I'm gonna take JJ out because I guess what you're saying is if he go down to, you say he go down to 3, JJ
3 or 4, yeah, because his lack of quarterback.
Miles bump up to 1.
Yeah,
because you had Dak and Saquon. Keep that same group. I'm gonna take JJ out. CeeDee Lamb.
He took JJ out. You still got Miles. I think Dak gets elevated a little
because of CD.
Because of CD. It's not because Dak is better. It's because CD will make catches. He's going to feed. He's going to force feed.
The same thing would be George Pickens, right?
Yeah.
You think you do the same thing, George Pickens?
Yeah.
Does Dak go up? Does Dak elevation make CD number 2, or does it make and put Miles 3, or you keep Miles at 2?
I'm still keeping Miles, in the driver's seat because he just because of what he does, his impact. But the thing that because we did not want Myles Garrett to wreck our offense. We're gonna probably still win because the Browns have no offense, but we don't want to have to win a game 7-6 just because Myles Garrett is out.
Wrecking all our offense. So basically, what I'm trying to honor with what you're saying, and I know I use those names. I was using. Oh, let me do this. I'm gonna take out. No, keep Chase. Keep Chase.
Mm-hmm.
And Saquon and Dak, but I want you to add Micah Parsons with Myles Garrett.
On the same team?
No.
Oh.
Same question.
It's still Garrett first. And you got Saquon, you got Dak, and you got Micah, right?
Right. So all I'm saying is this. From a value standpoint, this guy did not go beyond lower than you probably would have to put, because what I'm giving you is top 5 players at their position.
Yeah.
And this guy didn't go past number 2. So the value of Myles Garrett to your team when he is in a position of trade value, you're saying he goes no lower than 2 with like you said Dak was number 1. So if CD, even though it ain't gonna happen, got a $55 million hit.
Yeah.
So it can't happen. But if CD on the table and they say, hey, we'll give you Miles. We don't want the pick, and we'll throw in Jared Judy, but we need CD for Shador. You keeping Dak. You just told me that this man value don't go past 2.
You got to give up a lot in order to get Garrett. I'm sorry, he's one of those guys right now.
We'll give you that 21st round pick, and we'll give you that 2027 first round pick. He want to come home.
Does me getting Garrett mean that I'm gonna get to the NFC Championship?
My defense was 32. I'm using Dallas because that's my fan, but they What I'm saying is, I'm a fan, but they have the toughest climb.
Yeah,
with one man.
Cleveland can't afford to give it up. I don't think Cleveland can afford to give it up.
Cleveland go all the way down. Without him.
Yeah. Y'all are the Browns without Garrett now.
So you're trying to say Cleveland's 24th ranked offense with CD on it and Judkins and whoever want to start don't climb as high as putting Myles Garrett to bring up a 30-second defense on Dallas.
If you get he's going to have a bigger impact in Dallas than those guys that they receive in Cleveland.
That's all I'm trying to say. So the point I'm trying to make is this. When you're talking about Myles Garrett, please stop arguing about he is not worth it, his value. No, he is.
Yeah, he is the one guy. He is one of few guys in the league that I would say at this point is untradeable.
He's just untradeable. Like to get, even if you get him, he gave up something internally himself.
Yeah.
To get that trade done. I only think there's two, him and Mahomes.
Yeah, and I would probably, if he can't stay healthy. If he could stay healthy, I might put Burrow in there. But he can't stay healthy.
I seen the quarterback come in for Burrow and handle business.
Yeah, I know, but you can't. I'm sorry, y'all can't give me anything unless it's gonna be like Mike Ditka giving up everything to get Ricky Williams. You give me players, and you give me your entire draft for this year.
And I'm not talking about Dallas don't have the cap space. I don't care what team have the cap space. I just don't like the argument. When you're looking at this man holds game-changing, game-busting value like an offensive player. Michael don't do that. Michael ain't changing the whole game. You can put Michael up against Eagles and they're gonna be like, oh, you can put Michael up against probably like 4 or 5 units in the NFL, and their offensive line gonna say, okay, yeah, we didn't watch enough film on him. We good, we straight, we can handle that with our eyes closed. Now a lot of them can't, but it's 4 or 5 units ain't they getting their rest that night before the game.
Yeah, and you trade Garrett, the Browns fans are gonna stage a mutiny. We got a more than like an all-timer, and y'all gonna trade him away in his prime, and he just set the sack record, and he is not close to his prime. He's not peaking. He's not an old 30. So no, you can't. No, you can't let him go anywhere.
You can't let him go anywhere. And the only way that you wouldn't get that mutiny is if at the time that they said that LeBron James made a phone call and said, I'm coming back to Cleveland to make my walk. In retirement, I'm bringing Bronny with me. That's it. That's the only.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be something outside.
It's gonna have to on that level magnitude. That's it. That's the only thing you can do. For real. And so that's where I'm coming from with comparatives. And my last one for the night is there really a market for the UFL viewership? Or is it just development league for guys leaving college?
I think it's a developmental league. I will give the UFL this. I watched a little bit of the game the other day just to see, because there wasn't nothing else on. I'm glad to see that they're not making the mistake that other leagues have done and trying to put these teams in NFL facilities and you got a 60, 70, 80,000 seat stadium, and you got 5,000 people.
That's why I love what Arena used to do.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not a whole lot of people, but it's a small arena, so it looks like it's more people.
It looked like the fanfare is festive, right?
Because I looked the game I was watching, I was like, wait a minute, is anybody here? Because on one side of the stadium, it was empty. It's almost like, hey, all those seats are blocked off. So everybody's gonna be on one side of the stadium. It was, I don't know. Do you remember this movie called Frankie and Johnny? Al Pacino and Michelle Pfeiffer.
You know what? I was about to ask you, was that a male female movie? I do remember Frankie and Johnny. Right.
Yeah. All right. Now you remember there was a character. She died. She worked in the restaurant, and she died early in the movie. She died at work. Helen, that was the name. Mm-hmm. So they had a funeral for Helen. Frankie was there. Johnny was there. Her two co-workers were there. And so they were like, man, we're not too many people here. And she said, yeah, it's not too many. Yeah, no. And she said, well, it was nice that he sprung for the flowers. And somebody said, well, and the lady was making this thing. She was like, well, I'm just saying, I'm glad we didn't book the cathedral because there wasn't nobody there.
Right.
Like 6 people there. And it was a small venue. So it was still empty, but it didn't look as empty as if it had been in a full cathedral. That's the same way these UFL games are. I'm glad y'all didn't book a real NFL stadium because there ain't nothing in there.
You know what I thought when you were saying that? I was thinking about how the stadium looked before Scott turned into the wolf. Like before he came out of here.
Yeah.
On team where wasn't nobody at the game, boy. When Scott turned into the wolf.
Standing room only.
Standing room only.
But I do think it's a developmental league, which is what they ought to be used for. And it's also for these guys, for the NCAA to stop giving these guys 7, 8, 9, 10 years of eligibility. But look, you've had 5 years. Take your monkey behind over to the UFL and play over there, and get off campus. That's what I think the UFL will be good for. And again, I don't have any qualms or whatnot. The guys trying to pursue their dream and keep playing and play. Go to the UFL, try to develop, and maybe they'll find a diamond in the rough and they'll bring in, actually make it and be like, okay, this guy could really play. He just came out of school too early and had needed time to develop. But no one put the time and the money into him in the NFL, but you were able to do it in the UFL. That's the only thing for me. That's the only thing the UFL is good for, a developmental league. And they should tell those guys, when you're here, your goal should be within 2 years, after 2 seasons, you should be in the NFL. If you're not in the NFL within 2 seasons, there's a 99.8% chance that you're gonna never make it in the NFL. You're gonna never make an NFL roster, and you're gonna be here, or it's gonna be time for you to get on with your life's work and use hopefully the degree that you got.
Absolutely. Now, I want to go back to our point of. I had to make sure of something first. I want to go back to our point of the NFL leaving their grapes in these lowly markets before we close. Got a little minute. In these lowly markets and not allowing their guys to ascend into championships. And there's a name, because I didn't find out who he was. He kind of like Bubba Smith and Rosie Greer to me. His name is Dan Dierdorf. And I'm saying he's like, I'm looking at his accolades.
Mm-hmm.
Put him in a Green Bay jersey. Put him in a Cowboys jersey. Put him in a Pittsburgh jersey. Chicago. With a Phoenix jersey, you don't find out who he is until he gets on Webster. He did some Monday Night Football maybe before that too. So, but at any rate, his name stuck out to me.
Interesting that you brought him up, and
because
he's all. Yeah, no, he wasn't on Webster. You think about
no. Dan Dierdorf wasn't on Webster. It was see, I'm bringing up the wrong name, thinking it was Dan. See what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
How you do that? But it was really the other dude, the other lineman that played in Detroit.
Yeah, but Dan's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, Dan a Hall of Famer.
He
was on Monday Night Football.
Night. Yeah, and a lot of people didn't like Dan on Monday Night Football. I liked him. I liked the fact that he was simple about it, and I don't know why some people just don't like guys that talk and whatever. But Dan, and this goes because we got the draft coming up. For me, Dan Dierdorf probably has one of the most unusual things regarding his draft. He was a second-round draft pick out of Ohio State. No, out of Michigan. I'm sorry, out of Michigan.
Yeah, he was from Wolverine.
Yeah, he was out. He came from the state of Ohio, and people were upset because he went to Michigan. And the reason he didn't go to Michigan is because Woody Hayes never offered him a scholarship. He didn't think that he was good enough to play it for Michigan, for Ohio State. So he went on, played it, became All-American, played it Michigan. But the thing that I believe he's the only person in draft history who can lay this claim. Well, no, because other people on their team can do it. But the fact that he's a Hall of Famer, the fact that when he was drafted, the St. Louis Cardinals didn't even have a head coach. They fired the head coach after the end of the season. So his head coach, eventually, who became his head coach for 2 years, didn't even select him. He was selected. Dan doesn't even know. He doesn't know if the owner selected him or if the general manager selected him because they didn't have a head coach. Now imagine
that first round pick in 1971. Let me look that up. He was second round.
Yeah, the first pick. There was Plunkett, Archie Manning, and Dan Pastorini were the first round quarterbacks. And John Riggins went in the first round. But can you imagine getting drafted and you don't even have a head coach?
Wow.
KD, I'm just calling. I want to offer you this position at Fox Sports to do our NFL segment. Okay, well, we don't have a director of Fox Sports right now, but we want you to have this job. Okay, so who am I reporting to? Who am I getting my marching orders from? Don't worry about that. We get that taken care of. So that person who comes in, they don't even know if they want you or not. You don't know if they want you. It's kind. Can you imagine that? Oh, your first job in the NFL as a player, you drafted, you're a rookie, that you don't even have a coach to welcome you and to say, "Hey, welcome here. I'm glad to have you. This is what we're planning on doing."
Man, check this out. You know who they drafted first?
Who?
Norm Thompson out of Utah. He got drafted ahead of Jack Tatum.
Again, who? And I'm sure he probably
like, exactly. Yeah. Got drafted without a head coach. So who ended up being the head coach?
His name. I can't remember his name now, but he went 4-9 491 for those 2 years. He was only coach for 2 years, and they got rid of him.
I forgot they was in St. Louis. Destined for that's destined for trouble, man. That is destined for trouble, boy. Wow.
That's like going to work and saying, okay, who do I report to? Who's my supervisor? We hadn't hired a supervisor yet, but you need to go over there and do such and such. So who do I call into, or who do I ask for help? We'll let you know.
Oh, yeah, exactly. You get on the plane. You know how they try to get you out of your hometown real fast and get to the headquarters? What's the scheme?
Am I going to play guard or tackle? Am I going to be on the left side or the right side? Look, man, just come here.
So him and Norm just showed up like. Let's go see what the Cardinals doing. You know what I mean?
That's bad, man. That is horrible.
That is bad. Man.
But that's some draft trivia since we're getting ready to come up for the draft.
That's
in a few weeks.
And I don't want to do that wrong. But Alex Karras.
Yeah, Alex Karras, yeah.
Was the one I had. And speaking of Webster, Webster used to be a friend and a close confidant of the late great Michael Jackson, whose rollout is coming. And it's coming fast, boy, and it's coming good. There's a lot of these little trailers hitting kind of, you can see April 24th.
Yeah. And did you hear they leaked his last recorded song, the last song he recorded? They leaked part of it. It's called "Remember What I Told You," and they say it was dedicated to his kids. It was him, but it sounds like, and you go on TikTok and you can find it. I know it's on TikTok. But Michael Jackson, "Remember What I Told You." It sounds, it's two-way. It sounds like he's talking to his kid, telling him, "Hey, remember what I told you, but like, hey, I'm not gonna be here, but remember the things I taught you." And at the same time, it sounds like closure for his fans. It's like, man, Mike just died. He just gone. It's like, man, this is what he would have told us if he knew that he wasn't gonna be here. Really? Tomorrow. Yeah. You're going.
Is it in the movie?
I'm hoping it's gonna be in the movie. I'm hoping that it's.
Then it kept his held all this time.
Yeah, they say it was leaked. I'm hoping that when the trailer, when the credits rolling, I'm hoping that they play that. But if they do, it's not gonna be a dry eye in the house. Now go ahead. Go ahead. What you were saying though.
Unreleased song written and produced and recorded by Michael Jackson in Las Vegas in 2008.
Mm-hmm.
Also known as Just Remember. Oh wow, that would be something to. And if it's nice enough, it don't have to be. You know, it can go number one.
Yeah.
It's only 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Yeah, so they need to release the whole thing.
Leaked August 7, 2025, January 6, 2026. You know what's funny about that? Who produced he produced it.
Yeah.
What's funny about that is I was hoping you were gonna tell me R. Kelly produced it. because of what's going on.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
With the Boosie stuff resurfacing. And I know that's all due to the movie. But what you think about that? Because and I'm only saying this because I can't get tired of turtleneck. I've been seeing it on the What a little turtleneck versus. Well, I wish it was wintertime.
Yeah.
But at any rate, I'm just saying, you know, that I believe that and the Michael Jackson movie come out has made this whole Boosie's statement that R. Kelly would destroy Michael Jackson in a verses if they were to do a verse.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you something, man. I'm a fan of both of them, like heavy.
Mm.
I just played like all day R. Kelly. I just put it on and let it go, right?
Now, did you play R. Kelly songs or just that he did?
Well,
did you play stuff that he wrote for others also?
Well, what it is the Apple Music going.
Oh, okay.
They're gonna put in stuff he collaborated with. They're gonna play the Mary J. It's on,
Okay.
It's a lot of that, but most of it was him.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say this. There is a verses out there. Bald head R. Kelly versus cornrows R. Kelly. There he is. Because I don't think anybody can match up with him. But to Boosie's point, I don't think Boosie I don't think Boosie does also what I do. Boosie don't put on Michael Jackson and let that off the wall and beyond go either. I don't think he has a respect for what was going on. This ain't saying R. Kelly will lose, but destroy, you tripping.
Yeah, he said he's smoking. Like nobody is gonna smoke Mike. Nobody. I don't think. Because then he said, then what got me is he said, "How many Michael Jackson songs do you know?" That told me right there that
with him even saying that, right?
Yeah,
you don't know a lot,
dude. We're not just talking about Michael as a solo artist after he left his brothers. We're also talking about the stuff he did with his brothers, the Jacksons, and before that, the Jackson Five. We're also talking about his solo projects that he did when he was still with them in the 70s. We're talking about Being, the song about the rat. We're talking about Happy from Lady Sings the Blues. We're talking about With a Child's Heart. We're talking about Who's Loving You. We're talking about songs that he did as a solo artist as a child as well. We're talking about 40 years of music. And for him to say, and so we talking about 10-year-old Michael. We're talking about preteen Michael. We're talking about teenage Michael. We're talking about young man, 21-year-old Michael. We're talking about 40 and 50-year-old Michael. No, to say he be smoked is not gonna happen. And to say I don't think he will lose either, because there's so much. And for anyone to say how many Michael Jackson songs you know, that just tells me that you don't know his catalog. That's all.
He don't. Boosie, the era he came up in, like he seems like he close to my age, but there is
43.
See, and that ain't close to our age, because that's a gap. That's a gap where he caught Michael Jackson probably on After Bad.
He probably called Michael when he was singing "You Rock My World." He probably called him on Invincible.
He probably called Mike, exactly. He probably called Mike on "You Rock My World," the Rodney Jerkins era. You don't remember the Rod Temperton era, bro. You don't remember the Quincy Jones era. You don't. You might be playing and messing around with that end of
with some of the Teddy stuff, some of the Teddy Riley stuff.
Teddy stuff. You might be, and this ain't nothing against Rodney. I'm just talking about when Boosie might have caught him. He don't. Speaking of Rod Temperton, do you know Karen Carpenter was supposed to get rocked with you?
Didn't know that. And I'll one up you on that. Or I'll see your Rod Templeton to the Karen Carpenter, and Brandy's I Want to Be Down was supposed to go to Vanessa Williams.
Woo! And I forgot who was it Beyonce stole something from? Stole Me and My Girlfriend from Toni Braxton.
Yeah.
She was supposed to get that. She recorded it first. But anyway, let's not get off track because, I can't help it if I wanted to, was actually given to Michael Jackson by Stevie Wonder. So what I'm saying is, Boosie, you don't...
I think his sugar might have been high.
You wouldn't have said that. And this is nothing against R. Kelly, because I'm talking about R. Kelly got some things. Woo. I see why Boosie thought that.
Right.
But he wouldn't have worded it like that if he knew. I understand why you thought that, Boosie. But you wouldn't have worded it like that, boy. Hey, Michael Jackson. I don't even think Michael Jackson need to go back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna allow Michael Jackson not to go back to the Jackson 5 because they didn't allow him to have his Thriller tour, and you're gonna see that in the movie.
Yeah.
But I'm just telling you, that Rock with you, that off the wall, and Thriller. I can't even lie.
Bad was good too. I mean, you think about it now, all those 4 albums in a row.
What was the you remember the time?
They all sold 20. Remember the time was
Dangerous.
That was Dangerous, yeah.
Man,
everything sold over 12 million. You got
ain't
over,
trying to play
over
around
20
with
million.
them for that era right there. You can't play with that boy. Hey.
And if you want to get something from when he was with his brothers, and it sounds like it was really a solo track because he stacked his vocals, and he was the only one singing on it. That Heartbreak Hotel, This Place Hotel.
Yeah. You playing?
Yeah, Boosie. Boosie blood sugar must have been either extremely high or extremely low when he said that, because that ain't
I get it. I get it, but you need to go.
Yeah,
you would have said that, boy.
Yeah.
Like R. Kelly got a. Man, hey.
He's got a catalog. Nobody gonna ever deny his catalog. But to say that's like saying that. That's like saying Floyd Mayweather would have knocked Sugar Ray out in the first round.
You know what, though? I'm gonna tell you what it is. That gap. There is somebody out there that said Stevie Wonder couldn't hold a candle to Michael Jackson because of that gap.
Mm-hmm.
And they be forgetting what Stevie Wonder did.
Yeah. 4 albums of the year award in a decade.
That's what that be. you be living in that. You be living in that gap. Like, man, y'all don't know them Stevie Wonder. I was playing around with that gap.
Mm-hmm.
You can't. But when you go back, nah. But it was on another level now. But it was on another level.
Mm-hmm.
But it was on another level. You know, man, he was on another level. Like I was trying my darndest, boy, cause I really was like, and this ain't about verses. I'm just talking about that gap. I really was like, when they be saying, L.A. Reid and Babyface, and L.A. Reid and Babyface be telling you out of their mouth, we good.
Yeah.
But Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, you might want to chill.
Yeah.
We ain't saying we ain't got some things going on, but you might want to relax. Because, and then I went back and listened just to to the production,
Mm-hmm.
the SOS band had like some of the greatest production of all time, like all time. That's why I say you kind of. Rod Temperton was a bad boy.
Mm-hmm. Again, like I said, though, it's that gap. That's the fact that you started listening at this time, and I only heard 2 of his albums. So how he gonna compare to R. Kelly? I heard all of R. Kelly stuff. No, because you didn't go back and you don't know that. And it's not a thing of, well, you're older, so you're gonna always choose who you grew up with. No, it's documented.
Music. It's music, man.
Music,
Just go listen to the music. It has been remastered. Go listen to the music, and you have respect for it. Cause hey, boy. And the only thing I will give, R. Kelly a gap in is that clip full of songs he penned. He playing around. He playing around with Jimmy Jam, LA Babyface.
Yeah,
we done already discussed that. Y'all go look at that episode. Smokey Robinson. He playing around with them. He playing around with them boys out of Philadelphia.
McFadden and McFadden and
Foster.
McFadden and Whitehead.
And Whitehead. And then you got the other one. You got the other ones who did In Vogue, right?
Yeah, that's the Foster and McElroy.
That's Foster and McElroy. Like he playing over there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give him that. Cause that pen R. Kelly got.
Yeah. Nobody gonna say nobody can say a thing about his pen game. Period.
I can't play with you like that. Can't play with you like that. You got that. So that's my thing, Boosie. And I know it's an old thing you said it a long time ago, but my thing is learn context, learn how to argue the point, and maybe you'll be fine. Now, it has been another evening of the No Jazz Show, NOJASSSHOW. I just want to thank you all for coming out. Make sure you join us every Tuesday night at between 10 and 10:15 for our No Jazz live show, and then check out all of our edited clips on our YouTube channel at NOJASSSHOW. We are live on my personal page, DUPONTZNIVEK, on Russell's, on Tank's personal page, RUSSELL, Tanker, TANKER, on our and please join the group and on our Facebook page, NOJASSSHOW, No Jazz Show. There's also the Phantom No Jazz Show page that came up that you can find us, NOJASSSHOW. Huge Electronics Store, GMP Media Group, Huge Electronics Store on Facebook page. Then you have on Twitch, GMP Media Group, on TikTok, No Jazz Show. Follow us on Instagram at DTHE No Jazz Show, just how I spell. On X at NOJASSSHOW, and email us with all of your inquiries, inputs, suggestions that we need to do for the show on NOJASSHOW@gmail.com. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and share. Now, before we go,
in other words, he's saying you can find us everywhere.
Yeah, you really can.
Yeah,
we locked in out here, man. We locked in out here. You can find her everywhere except for a UFL game. Keeping it 100.
Oh God. You go. And those are things you can say on podcast that you can't say on radio.
Right. Hey, what the UFL come at me like, boy, we were gonna give you a sponsorship, but you want to talk. Run your mouth. But anyway, like we always do at this time, do you have any last words, Tank?
Ooh, I'll just keep it brief. Everyone has an opinion. Everyone's free to have their own opinion, their own thoughts. You're even free to express them. But you also have to realize what your thoughts, your words, and your actions, they do come with consequences. Hopefully, this iconic tour that's going to feature En Vogue, Salt-N-Pepa, and TLC. Hopefully, it won't be impacted too much because I got to go and see Cindy again. Anytime Cindy comes, I go.
Ooh.
And hopefully, the backlash that Chili's getting from her stuff that she decided to do won't impact the tour, and people will still go and see the other acts that they enjoy, and not really mess up the church's money because of what Chili's done. Even though I did see on a couple of posts, people saying, hey, they aren't going anymore because of what Chili did. But, people, you got to remember, things that you say, things that you do, they do have repercussions, even though it's not illegal for you to do those things. So be wise. Before you hit send, copy, post, or whatnot, like they tell us at work, and like we tell people, before you click send for their email, think about it. Would you want it read in court one day?
Exactly. And I guess this could have been a topic because I'm going to extend my last words on that, and I'm gonna keep it brief too, because I think Tank has said pretty much what I was going to say in regards to that. I wish the T and the C of TLC the best of luck. I hope, because you have to sit there with En Vogue, and who's the other group?
Salt-N-Pepa.
Salt-N-Pepa. Oh man, the iconic tour. Like I don't need any of these ladies to be affected, and I think that their talents and the hits that they have itself are inelastic goods that can withstand any of the onslaught and pressures, because I do believe that the music itself and the night out and the nostalgia of it all will indeed, and I think once they put on a good show, this will subside, and I do wish the best for that. But in regards to what Tank was saying, we have to be mindful of the cross referencing, because even the people on this tour, even the people behind this tour, there are probably people on this tour that have made enough money to where their tax brackets and their political ideals have changed from where they were during their origins, and that's fine. We all have that. It happens. And by default, who you marry, what's coming out of your household may have political views that sit in the area where that gray area is easy for someone to attach your name to a political side that may not be the full political beliefs that you believe in. But just as Tank said, you got to be mindful. If your income still depends on people, because you have people working for you who are on that tour, who are doing those lights, who are doing those boards, who are driving those trucks, who have people in their families who are working class people that are going to see you, that benefit from the programs, for which all you have to do is find your name attached to something that you might not have known what it is. They're not going to see it that way. And the internet, from what we said in this social media thing and these podcasts, are not going to let you live it down. So you have to be mindful that if your income is in any way still tied to anyone that benefits from programs that you're trying that someone is trying to take away, you might not want to contribute in your name. You know what I'm saying? And I do want to say this. I don't know if she's married, but if she was married and I was her husband and that was the situation and that was the belief in our household, I would have stepped out in front of that for my wife.
Yeah.
Because he understands or should understand the situation that she's in, and she probably doing it because of the household situation, not really understanding what comes along with that. So you got to step out in front of your wife. I'm almost certain, and I'm not trying to throw you under the bus, but there's someone else who can probably get on that tour by the name of Eve. And I'm almost certain her household has shifted a little bit when she was with.
Yeah. With the Rough Riders.
With
yeah.
the Rough Riders. Life ain't rough like that no more. And I'm pretty sure her political views might have some contributions that fly on the other side, but you got to fly under the radar. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So, in the words of TLC, use your own song. When you see stuff like that, turn on the red light. And stop. And you'll be all right. Now, this has been the No Jazz Show. And as we said from before, that was the last word. I want to thank you all for joining us. I want to thank you all for coming out. Now, like we always do at this time, Tank, salute these people. We are out of here.
See you next week.